Today we are driving the new 2 Series. This is a 220i M Sport, but we have previously reviewed a 220 previous generation on this channel and we really liked it. So how is this new one going to stack up for me? What would this be like to use as a family daily? And most importantly, do I think it's worth all that extra cash over getting a much cheaper F22? Let's find out. My name's Ben. Welcome to Dadcars. It's not going to be easy for me to maneuver. Oh. Somebody parked that silly Maserati there, didn't they? Dadcars, you saying? Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. So this car is actually owned by my dad, and the previous generation 220D that we featured right at the very start of this channel, that was owned by my dad as well. So this is his replacement for that car. But the thing is, with his previous generation 220D, it was a manual. You know, I loved that little car. And this 220i M Sport cost him quite a lot more money. So at the end of this video, I'm going to give you my honest, hand on heart verdict as to whether I think this was worth it. Oh, a Mach 1. Are you okay in the back, sweetie? So let's kick things off with the looks. So the previous generation, the F22, I really always loved the looks of those cars.
Right, let's check in on the latest travel news there.
Why is the radio just suddenly popped up? How do I turn the radio off? Hang on. Is that it? Oh God, right, yeah. There we go. You just turn the volume down there. Oh God. Anyone who's watched my channel before will know I'm not a fan of huge, great big screens in cars. I like my analog dials, and that's the first thing that hits you as soon as you sit in this generation of 2 Series. You know, it's one of the many cars which is going down the route of having just one big wraparound screen. So, you know, your instrument cluster is just one half of the screen here, and you know, then your infotainment and everything else is on the left side. Personally, it's not for me. I don't like it, and I really don't like it in the new Mustangs. You know, for me, a naturally aspirated manual V8 Mustang, you just can't have a wrap-around digital screen like that. Anyway, back to the looks. So I love the looks of, let's go around this roundabout. That's quite nice, actually. I've always loved the looks of the F22 2 Series because, you know, to me it was always like a modern BMW but with classic proportions. And yeah, it's worth pointing out that these second generation, the G42s, you know, they are bigger. They're over 100 millimeters longer, and I think they're over 60 millimeters wider, which might not sound like a lot, but when you're talking about a 2 Series, honestly, it's a lot bigger. And yeah, I must admit, it feels bigger here just sat as the driver as well. I mean, overall, this is obviously a lot smaller proportions wise than some of the other cars that we feature on the channel, just like the aforementioned Mustang, for example. But the overall looks of the second generation 2 Series, I do really like them. And I don't know why I keep talking about Mustangs, but there's almost like a mini muscle car sort of feel about these G42s. So all in all, looks wise, the G42 gets a big thumbs up for me. It's a great looking car, you know, once you get over the fact that it is bigger and heavier. Look, every car is bigger and heavier. I mean, I don't know where it's going to end. You know what a car's going to be like in 20 years. But whilst we were stuck at these traffic lights, let's talk about the interior. This does feel like a really wonderful, special place to sit. It's the BMW are nailing it with their interiors, you know, the modern interiors. It's lovely. I absolutely love red interiors, and this sort of like deep, almost like a oxblood type red. Very similar sort of red that was in the 612 Scaglietti that we recently reviewed on the channel. I love it, love it, love it. And having a black dash, obviously for reflection reasons, is preferable. Say what you will about the M Sport package idea in general, but you know, for me personally, I think having the M Sport steering wheel and the M Sport seats is really worth the money. But while we're talking about the interior, this would be a great time to hop into the back and look at rear practicality. So if you're wondering what it's like in the back of a 2 Series, I'm pleased to confirm it's actually really good. You know, me, I'm 5'11", long torso. I've got ample leg room in the back here. If I lean back, sat up straight, my head does touch the roofline, but if I slump down, you know, I can get myself comfortable here. Now, there is only 2 seats back here, along with 2 sets of Isofix, but today with my little one, I'm using this Swedish Plus tested seat, and there's ample space here. So I remember this when we did the first generation 2 Series. You know, you can get baby seats, child seats, whatever you like here in the back. Oh, and in case you're wondering, I would say that the boot is massive. You'll be able to fit a double buggy in there, along with some shopping as well. And split folding rear seats means this is a really, really practical car. Oh, and fun fact, in the review I did of the F22 2 Series, I said that you couldn't fold the seats down. That was incorrect. You can. And whilst there is no ISOFIX on the front seat, you can switch off the passenger side airbag. So honestly, huge, huge, huge thumbs up for me in terms of practicality. So if you're wondering whether a 2 Series is big enough for you with 1 or 2 children, I'd say it definitely is. However, I'm starting to get a bit hot and sweaty. I shouldn't have left my jumper on. How do I turn the aircon? How do I turn the aircon on? Oh, hang on, it's on the screen. Are you all right, sweetie, in the back? Right, I've just pulled over and realised that it's actually on the screen that is how I put the aircon on. It's not the easiest thing to do. So imagine if I'm driving, obviously I'm not driving now, but say if it was like all you can do is turn the temperature down, but then to actually turn the fans up, you've got to click that, and then you've got to click this to do. Come on, that's not the best way of doing it, is it? But hang on, my dad said there's voice commands, because that's what I said to him. Look, there's only like a couple of dials, like what about all your other operations? So you can talk to the car apparently. So let's set off again and then try talking to the car. So BMW, can you turn the air conditioning up, please? No, hang on, no, it's not BMW. No, he said, computer, can you turn the air conditioning up, please?
No.
Computer, can you turn the air conditioning up, please? Computer, can you turn the radio on, please?
Unfortunately, this function cannot be operated by voice command whilst the parking view is open.
Okay, well, let me do it whilst I was manoeuvring. Let's try it now. Right, computer, can you turn the air conditioning up a little bit, please?
The air conditioning system is already turned on.
Yeah, no, but computer, can you turn it up a little bit? I want it to go up to 4, please. Computer, can you turn it up to 4, please?
I am setting the ambient light at level 4.
No, I don't want the ambient light set to level 4. Computer, can you switch the aircon fan to level 4, please? Computer, can you turn the aircon fan to level 4, please?
Hello.
Right, look, I'm going to move on because this must be really boring to watch. Something I do.
I need a connection to a Bluetooth device.
No.
Mobile devices. You can connect your mobile
Computer, can you stop listening to me for 5 minutes?
Using manual control.
Computer, stop listening to me. I don't want to speak to you anymore. Right, something that I do really like about this sort of more technically advanced car is the heads-up display. I really like that. So it shows me my speed that I'm doing right now, shows me I'm doing 40 miles an hour, and it also tells me what the speed limit is here as well, 40 miles an hour. Honestly, that is mega. So this is obviously quite an expensive car. I mean, this particular car I'm driving right now, when it was new, the list price was £45,000 because I think it's got a lot of the tech upgrades in it, which is what my dad wanted. But my dad bought this car when it was 6 months old for £35,000 from BMW. So £10,000 worth of depreciation in the first 6 months. Ooh. But what about other running costs? In his previous 220D, with mixed driving, with quite a lot of city driving, I remember checking the computer and it was over 45 miles per gallon real world that he was getting. Oh no, I've just said computer, haven't I? And she's listening to me again, isn't she?
Pardon?
Oh, I don't want to listen to you. Goodness me. Honestly, if I had like all 4 of my children in the car and I also had the car talking to me as well, I just don't, I don't think it would work. So a little over 45 miles per gallon real world in...
Will hide private information and show incoming calls only
No,
in your view.
no, I don't. So over 45 miles per gallon in the previous generation 220D. But what about this? Now, I'm not going to start pressing the screen while I'm driving because I don't think it'll be safe. Quickly cut to a clip and I'll tell you what this is now. But what about road tax? Obviously, a modern petrol 4-cylinder turbo like this, road tax is going to be cheaper than an older diesel, surely. Well, no. No, because this car is quite well spec'd and the list price was over £40,000 means the road tax for the first 5 years that my dad's paying on this very economical modern car is £600. You okay, sweetie? You want the bear? There you go, sweetie. There you go, there's the bear. That's the good thing about compact cars, is that in an emergency, you could actually reach back and pick up a teddy and give it to your child. And then after 5 years, it drops down to £190. But that is hilarious to me, the fact that, you know, my 20-year-old Maserati Grand Sport is naturally aspirated Italian V8, which gets 15 miles per gallon, is nearly half the road tax that my dad's paying on this. Honestly, that makes me so happy. But I guess final thing on running costs is, you know, the older 2 Series is, you know, common sense would say that sort of maintenance costs now would start to sort of increase on the older cars over obviously something like this, which is, you know, still in warranty and all the rest of it. The problem for me though is that, you know, this at £35,000, you know, for half the amount my dad paid for this, you could get an F22 M240i. Unfortunately, it started raining, but before we started rolling the cameras, you know, I had the opportunity to take this around a few corners and around a few roundabouts, and just generally how this rides is a lot more sporting than what I was expecting. You know, it actually feels really nice. I was expecting to say that the steering is lifeless and all the rest of it, but it does feel quite nice, sporting and precise. Right, we're coming out to national speed limit here. It's just started throwing it down, but let's have a little feel what it's like. So this has got a 2-litre petrol 4-cylinder turbocharged engine, which I believe produces around... Why is she talking? Why is she talking again? Which I believe produces around 180 something horsepower, which should be good for... Shush! Which should be good for 0 to 60 in about 7.5 seconds, I think, if that's your thing. But for me, driving this around today, for most purposes, you know, to get you out of a sticky situation on a slip road, or to get you out a roundabout, you know, this would be completely ample. Let's use these paddles. So the paddles are quite small, and you know they do feel quite plasticky, but you know they serve the purpose really well. All right, sport mode, first gear. Yeah, you all right, Pickle? Yeah, look, all in all, despite the fact that it hasn't got the manual gearbox, this is a fun thing to drive around. It's a nice weight to the steering on turning as well. Yeah, I like it, it's cool. I also apologise for the B-roll shots of this car being wet and dirty. It was clean when I arrived today, but honestly, today's been a bit of a nightmare. I had to just get there, rushed out, I've done it all out of order. So the B-roll shots were taken after I did all of the driving. So we're coming up to verdict time here. You know, what do I think? Do I think my dad made the right move? You know, swapping in is perfectly good, manual, rear-wheel drive, 220D, F22, you know, and paying all this extra money to have this car. You know, was that the right move? Well, to be honest with you, considering my dad has got 6 children, 217 grandchildren, you know, what he should have done really is swapped in his old 2 Series and got a minibus. Because to be honest with you, I'm actually getting a bit sick and tired of having to look after 4 of his grandchildren all the time, and it'd be nice if he could come take them. Oh my God. I can't leave that in, surely. No, obviously, look, I'm being a silly goose. What I wanted to say is that I just think it's cool that my dad, rather than... Are you okay, Pickle? You all right? You okay? No, look, being silly aside, I actually think it's really cool that my dad has, you know, he's gone for a car like this. He's not gone for a car which is 4 doors. Now, most people would assume, wouldn't they? You know, having children, having grandchildren needs to put into the car. Oh, you need a 4-door. Oh, heaven forbid, maybe you need a crossover. But no, my dad, look, I'm proud of him. I'm proud of him that he's, you know, sticking with this, which is just enough. And I wish that there was more people out there who would buy a car which is just enough. You know, this serves his purposes perfectly. He lives in the city, he doesn't need an SUV, does he? But for me, as much as I do really like this car, it's very, very cool. It's lovely. It's fun to drive. For me, I wouldn't have bought this. I would have bought, for half the money, an F22 M240i. That's what I would have done. Or for £35,000, I'd have got myself a really, really nice Maserati Gran Turismo S or an Evora. But I'm a very strange individual.
Let's check out the roads first.
No, don't turn the music on again. Don't switch the radio on again. Oh God, that has been a nightmare. I've never had that in a review before. What was I saying? No, okay, so look, I'm a strange individual. Yeah, the sorts of cars that I want. I'm pretty wacky for a guy who's got 4 young children, but I can't help it. That's what I want. But if you're thinking about buying one of these, and you're buying it because you want, you enjoy having the modern thing, you enjoy the tech, you enjoy that this car looks a lot more modern, it does, and inside as well, feels like a really nice modern place to be. All right, Pickle, won't be too much longer. I love you, and when we'll go back to Daddy's and you can have some sweets. And that is why I know my dad bought this, is because he loves tech. He loves the latest and greatest tech, and this, for him, yeah. If you're thinking about buying one of these, they are really cool cars. I know they're bigger, they're heavier, but if you're looking for the latest and greatest, don't buy like an X3 because you think you need something bigger. This will probably serve your purposes. Get yourself a G42 2 Series, or save half the money and get yourself an F22 M240i. Thank you all so much for watching. This has been a chaotic review, and I appreciate it if you've stuck around till the end. Subscribe if you haven't done so already, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye. Say bye-bye, sweetie.
Bye.
Say bye-bye.
Bye.
Computer, navigate home.